You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists, and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
All right, welcome. I need some coffee.
It's what,
Maybe I
10
should
a.m.?
keep that. Yeah, we'll just keep this.
The morning after the first day.
You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. Second one of the day. Thanks to Cass Jones for coming on early, and now we have Andrew Wooten.
Howdy, folks.
Thanks for stopping by and playing the song, which I'll probably have the song out there before the podcast. So good stuff for sure. You played yesterday on day one of the North Springs Music Festival. This is your first time.
It is.
Here. Kind of what was your first day at North Springs like from your point of view?
Man, it was like family almost, like someone. I think Sean from the Bird's Nest. It's like a family reunion kind of thing.
It looks that way for the
I
artists
mean,
too.
you can
backstage
from the artists, and even meeting new artists that you haven't met before. It's like everybody's a big old family, because you're all working in kind of the same bubble. But you got your own branch or whatever. So, but it's cool to come together, and then you can walk from camper to camper and you'll get fed. Like there's no going without food here.
I need to take. I got to make that walk.
Yeah, there's.
I need to be introduced to your friends.
I done had bacon, eggs, and toast, and there's a Low Country Boil going on right now that I'm gonna go hit up as soon as I leave here. And
okay.
yes, it's like family here, and especially first timer. Getting treated like that, so I couldn't imagine people that's been here for years doing this thing.
And something that we talked about with Cass is that from the first person till the last person, there may be more people closer to the stage as the night goes, but there's still people listening, which is not always the case, unfortunately.
Especially at a
they
festival.
are here to listen to original music.
Yeah,
and that's
it felt good to get up there, and half of my set was brand new stuff.
Okay.
Yesterday, and
it didn't matter that it was,
and for people to resonate with the way they did it. It's just cool to be able to be a part of that. So.
Yeah, it is cool that it doesn't matter if it's your most streamed song or something they've never heard.
Right.
People are at least listening, even if they can't sing along yet.
Right.
It's kind of a generic question, but when did this thing start for you? As far as when did you start playing music in general?
So
was it original music from the beginning?
No, it wasn't always original music. I would say I started playing air guitar when I was like 6 or 7. I'd come home from school and throw on the headphones or the stereo and just pretend like I'm playing, to some of my favorite rock bands. But I didn't pick up a guitar until I was 14. I used to skateboard a lot, believe it or not. And I broke my leg in half, and that was the end of my skateboarding career.
Okay.
And there was a guitar my grandmother bought me some years back that was just in the corner, and some of the guys I started hanging out with in high school, in middle school to high school, they played music, and, I just kind of followed into that kind of thing. And then I didn't start singing until a few years later in church. Started going to church, and that's where I learned how to sing and build some of my confidence up, and kind of just blossomed from there.
Part of my favorite question about, or reason for asking that question, my favorite part of that is because usually the music that people started learning on is not necessarily where they're at now.
Man,
and I'm an '80s baby and a '90s kid, right? So my high school days was Weezer and Bush and Godsmack and all that, right? And then I'm at a festival listening to you sing sad songs, right? So that's I also like. So what was your
the first riff I learned on the guitar was More Than a Feeling.
Okay.
By Boston.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
What kind of music was were not necessarily in your household, but what were you jamming to back then?
Man, I used to listen to a lot of emo stuff, man. You can probably tell with the music I write, but it was like, I was big on Green Day growing up, and then my dad introduced me to,
I think When I Come Around was the first thing I tried to learn.
I loved it, man. Longview, Basket Case, Good Riddance.
Still holds up.
Yeah. But my dad, I was listening to Pantera as well. I'm a big Metallica fan. I know that's hard to believe these days, but a lot of classic rock, hard rock, and southern rock, man, is what I kind of grew up on.
And then the older you get.
And then the older I got, so country music wasn't allowed in my house, essentially.
Okay.
It was an unwritten rule. But when I turned 17, 18, my senior year in high school, man, I started listening to like George Strait and stuff like that, and I was like, man, why have I never even heard this stuff before? I thought country music sucked, but
right.
It didn't.
Well, when I was in high school, it was kind of like this thing that you weren't supposed to talk about,
right.
that you listen to country music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
want to get into your feelings too much.
I just wasn't cool for whatever reason.
Exactly.
Again, that was the '90s, and whatever.
But
and
you got to grow up with Alice in Chains and stuff like that.
I was a little bit. Lane had passed and everything right before I really started paying attention.
Yeah. I love some Alice in Chains, man.
But yeah, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, all that stuff. That's still.
Chris
If I
Cornell
listen, if I listen to rock music, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that.
I love that stuff he did with is it Temple of the Dog?
Mm-hmm.
Say Hello to Heaven.
With all the Pearl Jam boys and everything.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
He's definitely, I would say underrated, but
yeah,
it's definitely one of the best.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a slow little ballad thing or they're the rock and stuff. Shooting and talk about all the bands.
He was with Audio Slave
too,
too,
right?
right?
I was going to say, just to say Audio Slave, Soundgarden, and Temple of the Dog. That's a pretty good run.
Yeah.
But so how did you kind of get to the point where you wanted to write some songs and or maybe find the style of music that you're trying to do now?
Yeah, so I think that kind of happened. 2016, I was in Australia. We're doing it's called MRF-D, Marine Rotational Force Darwin. So we're in Northern Territory. But I made a good friend in the Marine Corps from Alabama, and he's from Alabama because he's got the homemade Crimson Tide A on his chest, dude. And he wear it proud and loud.
Okay.
But me and him ended up becoming buddies, and he actually wrote poems and stuff. And we were just out doing an exercise. I think it was like a 30-day exercise out there in the field, and I got the Red Cross message that my uncle passed away while I was out there. And I couldn't go home because it wasn't my immediate family. But me and my buddy sat there in front of the dang toilets, and my cousin sent me a picture that morning. He said, "This is my daddy's last beer." And he liked to drink a can of Budweiser for it. He was an electrician. And he drank a can of Budweiser before he went into work every day. And he's also one of the first people to introduce me to guitars. And so I owe a lot to him for my musical upbringing. But me and him wrote a song called My Daddy's Final Beer, man, that day. And that's kind of where I was like, wow, I think I can actually write some music, man, if I put my heart and practice into it and stuff like that. And I wrote a couple songs then, and then a few years went by after I got out of the Marine Corps. And that first year after the Marine Corps was really tough. I went through a divorce and all that kind of stuff, and I just, instead of using alcohol or whatever, I just started writing music, man. And no matter if it sucked or whatever, I just kept writing and writing and writing. And
how did you know, like, as far as this is the style of music that you wanted to write? I mean, I'm sure it just kind of came natural.
I wouldn't even say I don't.
Were you listening to any particular thing that kind of led you down that road?
Yeah. So when I first got in the Marine Corps, man, this was early 2019. I saw these Billy String videos.
Okay.
Like his band, like live. He'd put up these like 2.5 hour live performances.
Which is a big merge of country and jam band.
Dude,
and all that stuff.
And I would sit there and look at my ex-wife. I'm like, do you not hear what they're playing? Like, I've never heard anything like this before. And they would just play, and I was like, I want to play guitar like him. And there's, I can devote the rest of my life and won't ever be able to play like Billy Strings. And then it became Lost Dog Street Band. So I found like Benjamin Todd and Lost Dog Street Band, and I was like, they were just speaking to my heart for about a year. And that's what I really kind of wanted to write my music like, was his kind of style of music. So I think
especially lyrics-wise, I can hear that.
Yeah. I just wanted to be raw and vulnerable and just tell my story, and hopefully people can connect with that.
So that stuff is where you figured out, like, I can like, this is my path.
And then of course about a little bit time, I found Tyler Childers. I didn't start listening to Tyler Childers until 2019, and I was like, man, if all these boys can do this, like, why can't I at least try to do this? And so that's kind of how it was born. That's kind of how it was born.
Well, because in the past you had to have the record deal to be heard and all those things, and now, I mean, of course that's easier. But you're here at a festival while doing all this shit by yourself, right?
2 states over.
All right. So as far as doing stuff by yourself, what's your and don't be ashamed to say so, because part of this thing is to show people that it ain't all easy, right? So what's your team look like these days?
You're looking at them.
That's
the whole entire team.
I understand. That's a common answer.
Yeah,
but
the whole
a lot
entire
of people
team.
don't understand.
Now I will say my wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's super supportive. Like I got to call her right before I saw you this morning, and I didn't get to call her last night like I told her I would, and she answered and was just like, "Hey, I hope you're having a good time. I know you didn't get to call me and all that last night, but I'm glad you're having a good time." So she's super supportive, and she actually does my album artwork. She paints all my album artwork for me. She's an artist herself, and so
she understands.
She's kind of like my assistant.
Because she's an artist or whatever, she's creative, so she understands more of what you're shooting for.
Yep.
A lot of people that aren't creative don't understand why you have that itch or whatever. You know, why would you do this to yourself?
Exactly. Why am I cutting my teeth like this, or paying my dues?
It's tough to explain to people that don't get that. So whether it's family or
and that's another
friends or whatever the case would be that understand is a huge deal. 'Cause that doesn't always happen.
And that's another part. You bring up family. It's like I'm sacrificing time right now with my newborn son, and that pains me. But nobody else is going to get this for me. Especially where I come from. So, all these musicians out here, I'm sure they're sacrificing something. And you're sacrificing something, and these festival promoters are sacrificing stuff. Just to music connects everybody. So.
Oh, I definitely feel guilty for leaving. Leaving the house and leaving.
I felt guilty for getting a 7 hours straight of sleep last night.
I understand that.
My wife's like, "Yeah, I woke up every 3 hours last night." I'm like, "I'm so sorry, baby."
Understand. So let's talk about, as far as, you got a lot of music out there, especially for you being solo by yourself in this thing. You got a lot out there, but you got more on the way.
So working on my second full album project right now. We're halfway done, so I'm doing 10 songs. I got 5 songs done right now, and actually in 2 weeks from now I'm going to cut 2 more songs. But yeah, working on this project, and I'm really excited about this time period in my life, because I'm writing a lot about religious angst and my relationship with God and my view on being a family man and being a father and a husband, and just what I'm going through right now in life. So super stoked. I've been writing a bunch, and so it's been cool.
Have you noticed, like when I was talking to Cass earlier, and a lot of his messages is sobriety, which is just extremely important to him, and then because he's finally started opening up and talking about it, he's met a shit ton of people that are going through the same thing that he didn't know.
Yeah.
Now that you're kind of doing these things, different messages, but do you get some reaction back from folks that understand or what you're doing or what you're saying?
Last night I was hanging out over there with Mason at his merch table, and this gentleman came up to me, and he was just kind of telling me some of his story and how he could relate to some of the songs that I sang yesterday about a religious upbringing, because I was raised Pentecostal. He said he was raised Pentecostal, and just some of the stuff that we seen in those kind of churches growing up. And it's not all necessarily bad.
Understand.
But some of it was just kind of out there, and we connected, and he said that one of my songs made him tear up, and it's just that kind of thing, man. It's just having somebody I never met before from a state. I think he said he was from Illinois, and just being able to connect through a song is just
also
beautiful.
That means they were listening.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we were talking about earlier. It ain't easy to get people to listen.
No, it's not, especially at a festival, man.
And you were early on the lineup.
I was the first one,
and they still were listening.
Which I'm actually kind of glad it started late, because it got more people up.
Yeah, it got more people up. Yeah, understand. It's just the listening part is.
That's the key.
What's the plan on? Do you have kind of a time that you're shooting for to get that music out?
Yeah, so I want to get it out. I'm probably going to drop another single, just one more single for like winter time, just to kind of get us through
after
until
the holidays.
holidays, because I don't necessarily like dropping music during Christmas season because
Right.
you know
Here's
it's
your
all,
sad song.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. If I do get one out, it'd be probably mid-November, and then but the album I'm shooting for like March of next year, March or April. So I got stuff I can ride through the summertime with and build some runs up. And
Have
all
you
that
had
kind of
anybody
stuff.
that you can ask those questions from? As far as, hey, when should I release it? Any of those little music questions,
Yeah.
music business questions.
I talked to Justin Clyde Williams a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, me and him, we're pretty good buddies, and he lets me bend his ear a lot. So
I hear he's an awful human being.
yeah, he sucks. He's not a good songwriter, and he can't play that guitar for nothing.
Yeah. He should hang out with better company,
Yeah.
other than J.D. Graham.
Yeah.
Should
Find a hat that fits his big old head.
He does wear it sitting up there. I wish I could do that.
Love you, Justin.
But that's cool that you can
Yeah.
have those, because I'm sure he's he's probably asking JD questions.
He's
You know
doing.
what I mean?
You know, you doing it. I think I told Mason Cole last night. I was like, dude, it don't matter. He's 19. I'm 30. I was like, it don't change, man. Like, you get older and you get a little bit more wiser, but the things you're feeling right now, you're gonna still feel when you get older.
I don't think I realized that he was 19.
Yeah,
I knew
he's
he
a
was
youngin',
young.
man.
I knew he was young, but I didn't know he was 19.
Yeah, he's a youngin'.
And he
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great, because he's got some deep songs.
He does. I don't know how he writes that deep for that.
Yeah, you ain't lived
For that
all that
young.
much yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's cool. And y'all hear all the noise going by. I mean, we are at a festival, right? You're gonna hear sound checks in the background. There's a little traffic, little artists pulling in,
Yep.
and all this different stuff. So,
We got all kind of artists hanging out back here.
which is another cool part about the festival. Everybody's just out and about.
Yeah.
They might have a backstage area, but also they're
Hanging out with
just
folks.
as much out front as the West Ship sitting out in the chair in front of the stage.
Because most of
days.
these artists that are playing, we don't ever get to see because we're traveling and
Yeah.
we're all in different parts of the country all the time, and we never. That's why I feel like it's a family, because
It is.
you get us all.
I noticed that last year. Like all these different, you could tell they're always passing on the highway, but never actually getting to hang out.
Yep.
Like they're wearing each other's shirts at
Exactly.
gigs, but they never get to actually hang out.
Exactly.
So that's cool. All right, we'll talk about 22-0. I know you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
I know that's
This was
important to you.
unintentional today.
So, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my friend Dr. Arnell, she leads it up they're based out of Nashville, Tennessee. But they do PTSD and TBI and resilience training for veterans and first responders and families of veterans and first responders. And it's completely free.
Okay.
I've been through it myself. And it's cool, man. They help you just kind of cope with some of the things you might be dealing with. And they don't even ask you to, obviously you can tell your stories to them, but they don't even want to know the details. So they're just trying to help you get better at whatever cost, man. And it's a pretty good gig, and they help with all kind of different veteran organizations, and they do the writer stuff with bringing songwriters and veterans together. And yeah, it's a cool organization, man. You should check them out. I think it's 220.org. You can find all the information there.
Good deal.
Yeah.
How long did you serve?
I did 4 years active duty in the Marine Corps.
I got you.
Yep. Got out as an old sergeant.
Well, thank you for your service.
Appreciate that.
No, that's not always easy. It's complicated issues, right?
Yeah.
Just like the religion part, it can be a
Yeah.
complicated subject, right?
Yeah.
So, well, all right. Well, y'all go make sure you follow Andrew on all of his socials, wherever you stream your music. Make sure you hit that follow button, which talk about it every single time. Independent artist, those streams, those interactions, that is their selling point to get to booking agents, to venues, and everything. It's their resume.
Yep.
Which sucks to have it, but it is what it is.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll get to a few rapid fire questions and get you out of here.
Let's do it.
All right. What is the first concert you ever went to, like as a kid or whatever? And then what is the first concert that you paid to go see, that it was your call?
The first the first rock concert I went to, I was 15. My dad dropped me and my buddy off at the Bilo Center, and it was Sick Puppies, Breaking Benjamin, and Nickelback.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a Nickelback fan.
I understand.
But they put on a dang good show. Chad
A lot
has
of
got,
fire.
Man,
A lot of
dude,
fire
you can
at
feel the
Nickelback.
freaking kick drum in your chest.
I remember that part.
And Chad's got amazing vocals, man.
I've seen them a couple times.
Yeah, and I love Breaking Benjamin, man. They're one of my favorite bands. Nowadays they call it dad rock. I kind of get offended when they say that, but it is what it is.
You are now.
Yeah, exactly. One of the first concerts I paid for, I think this is, please don't hate me, because
That's
it's
all right.
like pop country,
That's
man.
the point of this
But
thing.
the Florida-Georgia line, before they got big, they came to this little bar in Greenville, and I just turned 18, so I was able to go.
Mhm.
And we were drinking all kind of shine and stuff, man. But they came, it was like maybe 1,000-person room, and
Right.
it was packed front to back, side to side, man. And they put on a good show that
Understand.
night. I think that's the first concert I paid for. I think I probably didn't even pay for it, honestly, but
That's fine.
yeah, yeah.
All right. I know this list could be long, but what's a venue in state in your home state and that you would a bucket list venue, and what's one outside of the state that we're
Man, in my home state, I've kind of played one of the venues that I wanted to. It's called the Foundry.
okay.
I got to open up for Sammy Kershaw, Aaron Tippin, and Colin Ray, which was insane. It was like 1,200 people there, and I about threw up on stage. So that's called the Foundry. Out of state, man, I played at the Bird's Nest. I've already played there. I love that spot. Probably the Ramen. I mean, that's like wishful thinking.
Understand.
Would love to play at the
That's all
Ramen,
you
and
got.
Red Rocks would obviously
Hey.
be another one.
It's an extremely popular
That's
answer
right.
for the obvious reasons,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
I didn't touch on that part as far as some folks that you've opened up for. As far as in this world of music, who are some folks that you've had a chance to play with?
I played with Josh Morningstar a couple times.
Okay.
Rob Lines once.
He'll be here tomorrow.
Yep. I'm playing with West Ship in a couple weeks in my hometown. Playing with Alex Williams next weekend in New York. Tennessee Jet, I've opened up with him.
He's
at the
such a
Bird's
cool
Nest.
dude.
Yeah, super cool. I played at a bunch of a few country music festivals with a bunch of the Red Clay Strays last year. Cody Johnson. Yeah, there's probably the Piedmont Boys. I played with the Piedmont Boys before. That's the ones I can remember off
Good
the top
deal,
of my
man.
head. Yeah.
I'm sure it's cool to open up for just to have the gig or whatever. But when you get to open up for people that understand what you're doing,
Yeah.
even like Tennessee Jet. I mean, shit, he's been grinding at it for a
Yeah.
long time too. I
Yeah.
mean, he's doing pretty well with that mailbox money with Jinx and everything. But
That's right.
but still, he's played to those rooms and stuff too, with the crowd looking at him like, "What the is this?"
And that's another thing,
So-
man. Like you speak about mailbox money and stuff. Like I didn't know Johnny Park wrote the "Roll with It" that Easton Corbin sings. Roll
really?
with it. They played it last night,
I
man.
didn't,
But
I didn't know that either.
that just goes to show you, man. Like you can write.
And that's Clint Park's father, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can write some number ones, man, and still you're still grinding. You
Still
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
play.
Look at Kendall Marvel, like he's still,
Oh yeah.
they grind. I mean, it's hard out here,
I-
and it takes a village to get our music heard.
Yeah. We talked about. I've heard several people talking about building your tribe,
Yeah, yeah,
and that you can have a million followers or whatever, but if they don't understand you or support you, then
yeah,
what difference does it make?
yeah, exactly.
But still go follow and hit that follow button on wherever you stream your music. All right, back to the rapid fire. Where was I at?
I think we're
Yeah,
the venues.
I want to give you one more.
Okay.
Oh, dinner with a historical figure, alive or dead, musical or otherwise. Doesn't matter who. Your call.
Man, that's a hard question right there.
Yeah, that's what we do over here.
I would love to talk with Ozzy Osbourne. To sit
Okay.
down with Ozzy.
But like, what'd you say again?
Yeah, that'd be the whole conversation. Sharon.
All right.
Yeah, Ozzy would be cool, man. I love Ozzy and I love Sabbath, and yeah, that'd be real cool. And he's got to play with Randy Rhoads and
Zach
Zach Wild and
Tony,
what's
right?
his, yes, and there's another guy that did Bark at the Moon. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't
But
remember
yeah,
on the spot.
Ozzy would be cool, man.
All right, this is the final question. Is the most important question. It started as a joke on episode 1, and now we are still rolling with it. So, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Little Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Does oatmeal cream pies count as
It
Little
does.
Debbie? That's
Yes.
it. That takes the winner right there.
That's the co-host Steve's pick there. So
Man, I could live off those things. It's bad for you. Don't eat too many.
exactly.
Especially the older you get.
No doubt about it. That's why I'm a diabetic.
Yeah.
So I asked the Little Debbie question.
There you
That's
go.
You got to be a smart ass about it. So, all right, man. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Good to
Thank
meet
you for having me, man.
No
I appreciate it.
Cut.
This tune here I'm going to play is going to be off the new record we're working on. Been fighting a lot with God here lately in good ways, and wanted to write a song about how I really want to be surrendering all to Him, but my human side of me doesn't want to do that right now. And that's what I wrote this song about. This one's called Drowning in Vain While I'm Cursing God's Name. And I come to you with a heart so broken and a mind that's constantly at war. And I want to learn to stretch my arms wide, but I can't ever seem to find my own stride. And I'm lost and lonely most of the time, but I got a wife and son who's always on my mind. And I can't lead her home with a heart so cold. Please break these chains that grip my soul. Please break these chains. And I'm living in a world that always beats me down, but I'm spinning so fast on this merry-go-round. And I'm leaning on Mary Jane's haze to escape, and it's lifting my soul to a better place. But these chains are getting so cold, I feel like I'm losing my soul. I'm needing God's light to break through this strife, but I turn from His grace while I'm drowning in vain. Drowning in vain while I'm cursing God's name. And I'm fading so fast in this shadow I've cast, a stranger to the man I was, lost in the past. But God's whisper hums through this wreckage I've sown, yet I'm slipping through cracks, though His hand holds my own. These chains are getting so cold, I feel like I'm losing my soul. And I'm needing God's light to break through this strife, but I turn from His grace while I'm drowning in vain. I'm drowning in vain, but I'm cursing God's name. Drowning in vain. Drowning in vain.